welcome to our channel. Now I know what you're thinking, another driving channel? But listen, this isn't just another one of those stuffy driving channels with some bloke droning on about the highway code like he's reading you a bedtime story. No, no, no. Here at Driving School with Adwawa, we're all about making driving fun, accessible, and dare I say it, maybe even a little bit cool. Today, we're sharing top tips for learning to drive, especially for all you beginners out there. Look, we've all been there, haven't we? That first time behind the wheel, palms are sweating, knees weak, arms are heavy. Well, maybe not that bad, but you get the picture. Whether you're fresh out of driving school or just looking to brush up on your skills, these tips will have you feeling more confident behind the wheel in no time. Buckle up, because we're about to take you for a spin. Right, before we even think about hitting the open road, let's start with the basics, shall we? First things first, you need to get familiar with your chariot, your beast, your car. And no, I'm not talking about giving it a cute name like people do on those car restoration shows, although you do you. We're talking about understanding the controls and functions of your car. Think of it like getting to know a new best mate, except this mate can get you from A to B and maybe even has a decent sound system. First up, the steering wheel. Now this isn't some wild stallion you're trying to tame, alright? It's all about gentle movements and finding that sweet spot where you have complete control. Then you've got your pedals, the accelerator, the brake, and for those of you driving manual, the clutch. These are your friends, your confidants, your partners in crime. Treat them with respect, and they'll treat you right back. And of course, let's not forget the gear shift. This little fella can be a bit intimidating at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's like riding a bike. A bike that requires a driving license and insurance, but still. Now you didn't think we'd just tell you about the car and send you on your merry way, did you? No, sir! Just like that time I tried to learn how to bake a Victoria sponge cake, spoiler alert, it did not go well. Practice makes perfect. The more you get behind the wheel, the more comfortable and confident you'll become. And don't just stick to driving around the block, either. Venture out. Explore those country roads, navigate those roundabouts, even brave the motorway if you're feeling adventurous. Remember, variety is the spice of life, and it's also the key to becoming a well-rounded driver. Plus, think of all the interesting characters you might encounter on your driving adventures. Just imagine you might bump into a friendly farmer on a tractor or a flock of sheep causing traffic chaos. Okay, maybe not those exact scenarios, but you get the point. Driving is an adventure, so get out there and embrace it. Just, maybe avoid the sheep. Alright, now that you're out there exploring the world, remember the wise words of Churchill, keep calm and drive on. Okay, maybe he wasn't talking about driving, but the sentiment still stands. Driving can be a bit daunting at times, especially in heavy traffic or challenging weather conditions. But trust me, the more stressed you get, the worse it'll be. So take a deep breath, put on some relaxing tunes, nothing too heavy metal mind you, and focus on the road. Avoid distractions like your phone, that cheeseburger you're saving for later, or the compelling conversation your passengers might be having. Remember, your job is to get from point A to point B safely, and that requires your full attention. Think of it like this, you're the captain of your vehicle and those white lines, those are your guide. Stay focused on the task at hand and you'll be just fine. And if all else fails, just imagine you're cruising down the Pacific Coast Highway with the top down and the wind in your hair. Ah, bliss. Okay, let's talk parking, shall we? We all know it can be a bit of a nightmare, especially in tight spaces. It's enough to make even the most experienced driver break out in a cold sweat. But fear not, my friends, because with a bit of practice, even you can become a parking superstar. Start with the basics, like parallel parking. Now, I know it sounds terrifying, but I promise it's not as bad as it seems. Just remember the 3 Ps, patience, precision, and maybe a little bit of prayer. Once you've mastered the art of parallel parking, everything else is a piece of cake. Well, maybe not a piece of cake, but you know what I mean. The point is, don't be afraid to practice. Find an empty parking lot and go wild. Try different angles, different spaces, different parking techniques. You might surprise yourself with how good you become. And hey, if all else fails, there's always the good old-fashioned bump and nudge. Just kidding, don't do that. Now let's talk about road signs, those colorful and sometimes confusing symbols that guide us on our journeys. Think of them as your silent navigators, whispering words of wisdom as you cruise along. Okay, maybe not whispering, more like shouting in a very official tone. But the point is, they're there to keep you safe and help you navigate the roads like a pro. From speed limits to stop signs, roundabouts to pedestrian crossings, Each sign has its own unique meaning. And trust me, you don't want to be the person who mistakes a stop sign for a yield. So my advice is to brush up on your road sign knowledge. Study them, memorize them, maybe even write them down on flashcards if that's your thing. Because when it comes to road signs, ignorance is not bliss, it's a one-way ticket to a fender bender, or worse. And nobody wants that, do they? So be safe, be aware, and most importantly, be a friend to road signs everywhere. Well, there you have it. Our top tips for learning to drive delivered with a sprinkle of humor and a whole lot of heart. Remember, driving is a privilege, not a right, so always be respectful of the rules of the road and your fellow drivers. And most importantly, have fun out there. Driving can be a truly liberating and enjoyable experience, so relax, enjoy the ride, and don't forget to wave at your fellow motorists. Because at the end of the day, we're all just trying to get where we need to go, one traffic jam and roundabout at a time. Thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more driving tips and tutorials. And be sure to share this video with all your friends who are learning to drive or just need a good laugh. See you next time, and drive safe.